Hello, everyone. I'm Alison, and welcome to my weekly meltdowns coverage of Survivor, David versus Goliath, season 37, episode 12. Tonight, it is just me and Tyler. Say hi, Tyler.
Hi, how are you, Alison?
I'm great. We're missing Deb tonight. She has TNS.
Wait, what is TNS?
The nervous shits.
Oh, okay.
And Kyle was going to be with us, and he lives in Los Angeles, and he got stuck in traffic. So, you know,
yeah,
I can't.
Reason 1 million why New York is better than LA. Sorry, Kyle.
Oh my God, I can't even. I have the worst road rage when I'm stuck in. I had to film that. That'd be something. We already have some people in the chat. Bonita Tucker is in there. James Pratt, Thomas the Talker, and okay, I can't pronounce this. Lapeas, Laepeais. I'm the worst person to try to even pronounce anything. So let's get right into this episode. Survivor just keeps getting better and better. I love it so much.
Yeah, I even though I felt like tonight was kind of like a slower episode than what we're used to. I mean, we have to think about this in context. I mean, like every single week on this season has been incredible, like gripping from start to finish. And when it slows down just a little bit, in my opinion anyway, that is just the mark of how great of a season this has turned out to be. And I'm really, I can't wait to talk about it all. I mean, we had like an idol played at Tribal Council tonight, and Gabby ended up going home. So I'm very surprised that she ended up going home. I thought when they read that first vote for Allison, I thought that was going to be like another fake out. And like everybody just kind of like went with that plan instead of like the Gabby plan that they were kind of flashing in our eyes like before Tribal Council and stuff.
I just want to say, I think it's hilarious when the person that hatches the plan ends up going home.
I know. I kind of feel bad about that. Like she was like, yeah, like we're going to take out Christian. And then as soon as she walks away, they're like, yeah. And if the idols use, it's going to be you. Like that's terrible. But, you know, it has to be somebody, right?
As we said, I've never seen in a Tribal Council Jeff go, anybody want to play the idol? And right as he goes, okay, he stops, you know, yeah. Christian stops and goes, I mean, is he allowed to do that once Jeff says, I'm going to read the votes?
Right. Like, I feel like that's a moment too late, in my opinion. Like, but I think Jeff is always going to be like team television. Like, what's going to make for the better TV moment? You know, is it going to be better for Jeff to like shut that down, or is he gonna let Christian, who's already been like a huge like entertaining factor this season, is he gonna let Christian kind of read the room and make like one last call before he does it? I thought that Christian was about to start like talking to people, and that's when I was gonna get really pissed, because I think that would be a huge no if like after the votes are done, like Christian gets to be like, okay, so did you vote for me, and like trying to see like if they're like lying to his face or not. I was like gearing up for battle. I was like, oh, this is not right. This is not cool, Jeff. Yeah, and of course, they're just letting it slide because it's Christian.
Listen, now it's not the time to start whispering, Christian. Now it's not the time to start reading body language and faces. Yeah. Okay, you need to be doing that while everybody's talking and, you know, watch them. It just gets me. But I wanted to say that tonight, the MVP of this episode to me was Davie. Because Davie made the point of, if I get rid of Christian, who am I going to hide behind? And people were, I felt, making, like Nick, making kind of an emotional decision. Yeah. Because he was butthurt over the blind side of Carl. Dude, it's Carl. Like, yeah. Who gives it? It's Carl. Carl was never going to win the game.
Right.
Just from his attitude and the way he bitched.
Right. Yeah, I think that I agree with you. I think that a lot of people were making emotional decisions tonight, especially Nick. I think that he was kind of shown in like a kind of a negative light for the first time this season. And I thought that was really interesting. I thought that he, you know, he's been shown in this like really positive light so far, but I feel like he was just like really stuck on Christian for really personal reasons. Like, how many times did we hear tonight him say, oh, well, he's like voted against me twice, and like I can't look past this. Like the Mason-Dixon alliance is dead to me, and just like just like going on and on and on, being super emotional about it. And that's not the way to make decisions in Survivor.
Listen, here's the thing. You're playing Survivor, Nick. People are gonna blindside, they're gonna lie to your face, they're gonna stab you in the back, and then they're gonna take the knife out of your back, and then they're gonna wipe the blood off on your pants, and then they're gonna jab it right back in. That's how the game of Survivor is played.
Right. Yeah, so we'll see like who it plays out for. The trailer for like the next episode really shows that this game is really wide open at this point. And I want to give props to Alison tonight. Not you, Alison. I would never give you props.
I just want to say, Tyler, I know.
I want to give props to Dr. Alison because she was like extremely correct to Tribal Council tonight when she was saying like, I was on the bottom and I probably still am. And she was able to wiggle herself out of what really should have been her going home tonight, in my opinion. And like now that we're seeing like the trailer for next week, like everybody is targeting somebody different. And I feel like it's kind of an even playing ground now after this vote's done. Whereas before this week, I really thought it was Alison that was like on the outs, on the bottom. And it just goes to show like how quickly like your stake in this game can be, like where your rank on the totem pole falls. It really just changes on a dime, and taking one person out of the game like Gabby just can free like so many people up.
But like they're saying in the chat, James Pratt said the David screwed up okay, I'm sorry, I can't read. The David screwed everything up. They could have gone to Final 5 easily. And here is my opinion on that. Yeah, the Goliaths were cocky after the merge, and they were getting voted off. And now the Davids are eating themselves alive while the Goliaths are just sitting pretty.
Yeah.
Just letting it happen. Like, okay, that's fine. Do what you got to do, you know?
Yeah, it is. It really is this kind of a yin and yang kind of effect where like once the Davids start getting cocky, like they start messing up because they're acting like the Goliaths, and then the Goliaths start playing smarter once they become like the underdogs. So
yeah.
James also says in the chat, fly swatter ? For our new viewers, Alison, what is the story behind the fly swatter?
Listen, I've been YouTube vlogging for 3.5 years, and some people have a stress ball. I have a freaking fly swatter, and when I really get on a tangent, this thing is flying, and it says this is the A. Kelly attitude adjuster. You know, but here's the thing.
Also, I was corrected in the chat. It's not yin and yang. It's Jin and Jang.
Yeah,
which is a Big Brother 20 reference.
Exactly. Here's the thing. Thomas the Talker said, did Mike really tell Nick you're next in next week's preview? Yes.
Yeah.
He did. And now I can't freaking wait for next week.
I think that's Mike telling him more so, and not in like a, hey, I'm telling you you're next, but I think that like Mike is trying to save Nick in that moment. And we've been seeing this like the entire season, right? We've been seeing what happened? Didn't Angelina like say that to Elizabeth, right? And then so we're gonna see this like same thing happen, and we'll see if it breeds the same result, or if we'll see if Mike gets his way.
He actually won a little bit more. He kind of grew on me when he said that, but to me, I kind of feel like when he says it's time to get you out, there was probably more to that sentence, like they're saying, it's time to get you out. And Pokemon 9 in the chat wants to know who's the most safe to make it to the finale. As off of tonight's episode, who do you think? Do you think Christian put an even bigger target on himself for using the...
Okay, so yeah, so here's the thing. Like, yes, to answer your question, yes, like his target has grown like even bigger than it already was. I mean, Davie is literally calling him a meat shield. And in what world is like the nerd archetype now like the meat shield for like the bigger physical threat? I think that's a really like crazy like evolution of strategy in the game, which is really interesting. But I don't think that Christian's making it to the end. I don't see his path to victory. Like, we saw everybody agreeing openly that, like, yeah, like, Christian is the biggest threat to take to the end. Everybody is recognizing that, and they would be fools to let him get to the end. Plus, like, his edit is just, like, so positive too. Like, it's almost giving me like Kelly Wentworth in Second Chances kind of vibes. I almost feel like he's gonna get cut at like the fire making challenge.
Right. And Deborah said in the chat, Mike is useless. Okay, here's the thing, Deb. While you're sitting there with your TNS, the nervous shits at home, here's the thing. Yeah, he's useless, but I think that Mike being useless, I just spit all over my stuff. Hold on. I think Mike being useless is actually working to his advantage because nobody is targeting him. Nobody is saying we need to get Mike out. Yeah. Nobody is saying that at all. So yeah, he is useless, but he's also playing the game. I mean,
yeah. And
oh, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
The family visits. I'm sorry, my gaydar must be broke because I had no idea that Mike was gay. When they said, "Here comes your boyfriend," I was like, I pictured him, you know, married to a woman with like 4 kids. I don't know. I just kind of
I didn't know that either. So my gaydar was off too. So you're not the only one there. But so to answer your question, I think the safest bet for Final 3 at this point is, I think it's Mike. I really do. I think that he is, like, we're talking like a really great, like, GOAT potential. I don't see anybody voting for him over pretty much anybody else in the game. Like, I even see Angelina getting votes over him. I think that she is more of like a case, and I think that she has had like a better edit in terms of that going for her too. I really, it's weird to me. Like, I have said on the show before, once you get into like the GOAT box, it's like really hard to step out of that box and like be like a formidable threat. But I feel like Angelina is becoming that formidable threat. Like, we saw her win her first reward today. We're seeing this like positivity. We're seeing her like really go to bat for her allies in the immunity challenge when she's like trying to help out Nick and stuff like that. I think that she's starting to make like positive moves that are benefiting her game. And I think that she has a really valid story to tell when she gets there at the end.
Lauren Vermillion in the chat says Mike was on The Amazing Race with his dad, who is also gay. I've never seen that before. A dad that's gay, in a sense. That's cool.
That is cool.
I think that's kind of neat. Let's see. They're saying in the chat, I think the winner comes down to Cara, Nick, and Christian. Mike and Angelina are not winning. I think Mike is the equivalent, and God forgive me, of a God, I want to say floater, like in Big Brother, but
I agree.
I mean, it kind of is. Like, if this were a game of, if this was Big Brother 21, Mike would be considered a floater. I mean, has he?
I agree.
What has he won on his own?
He's been like a pivotal part of like the correct alliances, but he's never been in the driver's seat, really. He's always been like a part of the conversation, but he's never been the one like steering the ship his way and for his own intentions and stuff. So that's where I see the difference between him and like somebody who has winner equity.
I think people are wanting us to talk about the family visit.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought this was kind of a lukewarm family visit. What did you think about it?
Okay. That was not a fart. That was my son. You wish it were a fart, Tyler. You wish. Let me tell you something. If I farted during a live show, I would own that shit. I would probably even tell you what it sounds like. Now I lost my train of thought. Oh, hold on.
The lukewarm family visit.
Okay, the lukewarm. Damn it. I had something great on the tip of my gosh damn tongue, and now I can't remember it.
Just squeezed right out of you.
Yes. It came out. It just came out of my ass and disappeared. Here's the thing. All I can say is like, it's the same reaction every time. They're all full of emotion. You know what I was thinking during the family visits? I would be thinking, I don't want to see a family member. I don't want to see a friend. I don't want to see you or Deborah or anybody else. I want to see my cat.
See Finley. Yep.
I want to see my cat Finley. That's like if I swear to God, somebody, if my brother or somebody walked out, I'd be like, what is going on? No.
Allison, what would you do if you made it to a family visit and they're like, Allison, we think you could use some love. All right, come on out, Tyler. And then I just come running out.
I look at you and go,
what would you do?
I'd say my cat better be up your ass or it's hidden somewhere. You better pull him out. For God's sake, where's my cat? You know what? Honestly, if it were you that would come out to see me, I probably wouldn't. I don't know. I would be so desperate for a face.
Oh, yeah.
Someone that I think cares about me that I would probably hug the shit out of you. What would you do, Tyler? If I pranced out onto the beach? It's okay. We're real. We're real on this show. Be honest.
I would probably you know how everybody gets like emotional and starts like crying and breaking down. I think I would fall to the floor like laughing and be like, "What the hell is this?
Why?"
I have my sister. I have my mom. I have like my best friends. Like, and then here comes Allison. Like little like. They need like a camera to like zoom in like down because you're so little. I swear to God, if you came out on the beach, I would immediately start crying. This would be me. Why? Like, why did you do this? And then when we inevitably lose the challenge because you can't perform well, like, and they're like picking the people to go on the reward with them, I would be like, no, don't pick me. Like, I've had enough of her. Put her on the plane back and let her watch a movie or something.
I would be like, I'm done with this nature shit. The reason why we lost the challenge is because Alison has sand in places where the sun don't shine, and I'm not having it.
Can she take one aqua dump before she leaves?
That would be like what my dream would be. It was like, listen, Joe, I know that we lost because it was me. Whatever. I need to take an aqua dump. I have not lived. I only want to go on Survivor. I'm here for fight. Can I please shit in the water?
I'm curious what Jeff would say to that.
Jeff would be speechless.
But so we had the family visit. Of course, we get this like really funny moment from Angelina when her mom comes up and embraces her, and Angelina like tells her in front of everybody, she's like, "Oh, I got the rice for the entire tribe because that's how you raised me. I got it for everybody." And everybody behind is like, "Oh, yeah, well, that's so great, Angelina." I almost called her Allison.
You're going to get muted in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
But she hugged her mom and she's like, yeah, I got rice for everyone. I made sacrifices, and then just turned and looked at all of them like, and her mom turns and looks at him. It's like, yeah, she did a great job, didn't she? And Jeff was like, see, even your mom's playing the game. I'd be like, yeah. And Gabby wants to sit there and go, did you see how Christian comforted his girlfriend? Like, that's what he did. Dude, it took 20 minutes for him to like touch her. Right. It was the most awkward freaking.
Well, I missed where Jeff said that it was his girlfriend, and I thought that it was his sister until he was like, "This is the love of my life," and I was like, "Wait a minute, he doesn't live in West Virginia, does he?"
Do you know what kind of hell I would be in if I had to come see you on Survivor as a movie? Because everyone would stink, and I'm 4'11", so I'm right at armpit level. So I'd be like, okay, look, I know, I get it, I can feel it, but we don't need to touch. I don't know what's on you right now. It may jump onto me.
Yeah, and so we had that awkward thing with Angelina, and then like Nick's dad was like a big boy.
He's so big, and Nick is so tiny.
Yeah, but that's what happens with Southern cooking, you know.
I'm telling you. Yes.
And then we had, of course, like the awkward like Christian and his girlfriend thing. I'm not a fan of like girlfriends or boyfriends visiting for the Survivor Love Book visit. I think that it's like don't you have like a parent, or don't you have like a sibling or like something, you know, like a boyfriend and girlfriend is so like you never know if it's going to work out, you know? And it reminded me of Survivor Second Chances when Spencer, like, his girlfriend comes to visit, and we spent so much fucking time about him talking about how he tells his girlfriend for the first time that he loves her. And I just wanted to vomit everywhere. And I was expecting something similar with Christian and his girlfriend, or like Mike and his partner or whatever. But I don't know. I feel weird about having like a boyfriend or girlfriend come out there.
You know, here's the thing. Captain Obvious, my boyfriend, I tell you right now, his ass wouldn't come because he he hates nature as much as I do. And I think he'd be like, I love you, but I'm on vacation from you right now, and I'm kind of enjoying the silence.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question. In all seriousness, if you could pick one person for the family visit, who would you pick?
Oh, I've already told her. It's my sister. I texted her maybe like 2 years ago, and I was like, hey, when I get to the loved ones visit in Survivor before I end up winning the season and then winning an all-star season as well, you're going to be my my loved ones visit. Because I know that like she's really smart. We work well together. She was like an athlete in high school, so she's pretty athletic as well. Like if they ever did like something where we had to compete together to win, I know I could depend on her to pull through for that.
They say in the chat, Mike didn't seem happy to see his boyfriend. I'm gonna second that.
I agree with that.
It was like his boyfriend came out and he was like, "Hey, what it was an
awkward hug. And then like there was like so much like space between them. Like they really save room for Jesus, which is ironic because they're a gay couple. But they like he was like over here and he's like, "This is my boyfriend." Like, "Hey, like how's the weather over there?" That would be super awkward.
That would be us. It'd be like,
oh,
hey,
100%.
This is I don't want to friend. I don't know. The person, whatever.
Plus, he looks like so much younger than Mike, and maybe that's just like the island effect on older people. But I feel like there's definitely like an age gap there too, and I miss like Jeff saying like the relationship for them as well. I thought it was his son or something, because they look kind of similar too.
My mom is in the chat. June Edwards. Everyone say hi to her. She's like. I wonder what their relationship is like. I don't know. Maybe they're just not affectionate.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the case. But you have to think like Mike is like grown up in like TV and like he's been in movies and stuff like that. You think he wouldn't be afraid of like affection, like being displayed on screen? You know what I mean?
If that's how they are when they haven't seen each other in like a month,
that's true too. I mean, like they haven't. Not only have they not seen each other, they haven't like talked to each other at all too.
Yeah. I mean, it was just a lackluster. It was nice to see Davie and his mom. That gave me the feels a little bit. Yeah. I have to say, seeing Kara with her brother gave me the feels, because if I had to pick one person to come out to see me, I honestly it would be my brother Jonathan. I think I would want to see him there. I don't know why. But for some reason, whenever I've been like at my lowest, no matter what, don't get crazy in the chat. You're always there for me. I love you. You're my rock, Captain. Everybody, my son. I love my son, but my son hates going outside as much as I do. But my brother's a nature guy, so I'm like my brother. I would have my brother on with.
Yeah, I think like what you just brought up about your mom too, that's another reason why I would go with my sister instead of either of my parents. I feel like either of my parents would be like, "Oh, well, why did you pick them over me? Like what's wrong with me?
I don't even. My mom would come down the beach and hug me, and I would be so happy to see her. But then she'd start judging all of the people out loud.
Yeah.
She would start going, she'd probably turn around and go, "So which one's being mean to you, Alison?"
Yeah. Was she one of those moms when you were like growing up in school that like called like the parents if of like another kid that was like bullying you or something?
You have no idea. My mom called the school. My mom called the parents.
Why am I not surprised?
My mom threatened to spank kids. She was on it. You did not mess with my mother. Oh, and my mom said, no, I would fall and roll down the beach. This is probably true. It'd probably be the first medevac on a family visit would be my mother.
Sorry, somebody was just calling me. Okay, so yeah, so we had the family visit. I also thought that it was weird that they had they were on a golf turf kind of thing in the middle of the ocean. I don't know if we've ever seen something like that either, but I thought it was really interesting how each of those 4 people, they cut to each of them saying to their loved one, yeah, I'm running the show. I'm in a good position.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
every single one. Yeah, I'm in a great position. I'm like, Mom, I'm in
yeah.
I got this. It's on lockdown.
It was a great metaphor for how wide open this season is. There is no front runner. There's nobody steering the ship, to say. There's no Kim Spradlin.
If my son were on Survivor and I was his visit, which child, let me tell you something, I better be. I don't care. There are no excuses. But if he had won and I'd been on that boat, I probably would have blown his whole game. He's such the sweetest guy. He's so loyal. He doesn't lie unless it's to me. He's only a little full of shit, So, anyway, somebody in the chat said, I thought the reward made them look a little arrogant. And someone said, Mike said it when he said there's more possibilities than ever next week.
Yeah. There is, but these 4 that won the reward, I really thought that this was going to be the turning point for the rest of the season in terms of where this game is headed. I really truly think that those 4 are going to be the final 4.
So if we could pick right now, the final 4 for me would be Davie, Kara.
What you think will happen, or what you would like to happen?
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm thinking in my mind so far from watching. I think this could happen. Kara, Davie, Alison, Kara, Davie, Alison, and I really think Christian. I think he will last longer than Nick. I think these 2 are done. I really think, of course, Mason-Dixon line has been done because you've barely been talking about it. And that's the dumbest name I've ever heard for a line. Anyway, but yeah, I think that's my 4. And
sorry, go ahead.
I say, my mom wants Kara to win, it looks like. Thomas the Talker said, my 4, Mike, Angelina, Davie, and Christian. I don't know, man. Angelina, I think her time is coming, but we only have 2 more episodes. We have next week, and then we have the finale. So.
I think the boot next week is going to be Alison or Kara. To me, they're the easy ones to get out next before the big group kind of has to turn on each other. Yeah, I strongly think that it's going to be Angelina, Mike, and Nick in the final 3, and Davie loses the fire making challenge.
A lot of people are saying they're split. They're saying Alison is next. Kara will make it to the finale. I will say Kara does seem like a threat because she did win the immunity challenge, but she's not. Since what's his name, Alec is gone, I think she's kind of faded into the shadows maybe a little bit. I don't think she needed to win the immunity challenge tonight.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I don't think that it hurts in in a season that's so up in the air. I feel like it's really a spinning gun, and whoever it lands on is the person that goes home. And James says a really important note in the chat too. He says, Kara won't win because of the Instagram thing. She would not have risked $1 million for
that. Okay. Alec is the one that really got punished for that because it was his Instagram account. So maybe she got cocky. Maybe she made it to. Maybe they're doing a 3 this year. Maybe she's in the. That is a very good point. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, she kind of just screwed it up for me.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate piece of news that we have, but it's something that we have to consider for sure.
I'll be honest with you. And I'm going to say, Devin Bates said, I think Carl will be in the final. I'm rooting for Angelina. I think Nick or Christian will win. I think if Nick or Christian are in the final too, they will win, especially if they are up against someone like Angelina. Because what is Angelina going to say? I got rice once.
I didn't get a jacket.
I didn't get a jacket, but I got rice once.
Yeah, I think that if Christian is there in the final against anybody, Christian wins.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom says I forget Kara is in there sometimes. It's because, Mom, she's fading into the background a little bit, which is good.
So Kim in the chat, she doesn't want us to ignore her. Hi, Kim. She says,
hey, Kim.
I think either Angelina or Davie will have the next target on them. She said, Kim says, I think I'll just talk to Tyler. That's fine. You can talk to me all day, my darling.
Listen, I'm used to it. Okay.
So I wanted to talk about the tribal council tonight because I think that it was really interesting how like the big theme of the tribal was looking ahead to who is the biggest threat in the jury. And the tribal council was really like a meta like game discussion in terms of strategy instead of like who is with who, like what alliances are happening. Like it was very like strategically based for a change. You know, it's usually like, oh, it's these guys against these guys and everything like that. And I think I want to give a lot of credit to Gabby for having this effect on this season. I feel like she's really been the driving force for a lot of this, really looking ahead to like the end game and like the possible scenarios and everything. But it's really interesting to see how like basically everybody was aligned and admitted like pretty much flat out at that tribal council, Christian is the biggest threat to take to the end. And like now that he's played his immunity idol, does he have a place to get to the end unless he like wins out, which could happen.
Gabby was really, can I say that? Kim,
yeah.
I love you. Kim, I love you more than Tyler. And Kim.
That's not hard to beat.
I would shut up. Shut your mouth. Kim, you're writing my mama. Kim, I would, Kim is a good friend. I would have you come to the family visit. Just so you know. Tyler wouldn't do that for you. But anyway, Gabby's got, you're right. She was onto something tonight. She was stretching her legs and walking on them. I really think she had a good plan and she tried to execute it. I just think that how could you really look her in the face and get rid of and they did it anyway. I mean, if Christian hadn't played, he would have been gone tonight. I think it would have put a target on her irregardless, because you're thinking to yourself the next time around, she just put the nail in the coffin of her best friend that she's been with from day one. I mean, just think what she would do to us. Yeah,
that's true. I mean, that's very much so like a big brother mentality too. You know, like if this person's willing to go against our alliance at this time, like who's to say they won't do that to me in the future? You really kind of lose like all sense of credibility. Deb says in the chat, Gabby's guilt was palpable. There's no way Christian didn't feel it. That's true too.
That's like if we were, okay, and not you, but it's like me and Debbie were playing, because hell, you throw me under the bus and then drag my ass. But here's the thing, it's true. Like if Debbie and I were playing together and she hatched a plan to get rid of me, I mean, because, you get really close. I feel like I would be hurt. I mean, I would really be upset. I mean, I'd be kind of flattered at the same time, because you do think I'm a threat. Who doesn't want to be called a threat? But you know what? I'm sick and tired. Oh, Kim said she'd bring Finley. I know. That's why I love you. And here's if I hear resume one more time, or it's time for me to make a big move, shut up. I don't want to hear that anymore. I don't want to hear your resume. I don't want to hear your big move anymore.
The more people talk about like this like resume, the more people have to build a resume. You know what I mean? Like I feel like if the word resume were on a graph for Survivor, like it would go up, like it would be soaring, because I feel like the more people talk about it, the more they kind of talk themselves into like, I need to make a big move for the sake of making a big move. And sometimes the best move in Survivor is not to make a big move.
Exactly.
I think that Gabby pulled the trigger on Christian maybe like 1 or 2 votes too early. I still think that they could have had a lot of power having 2 solid votes together, moving forward for like 1 or 2 more votes. And then like once it gets down to like a more, and Gabby had Alison in her pocket too. So that's like 3 right there. They wait like 1 more vote. They decide who goes home because they have the majority of the votes there. And then that's when you go to Alison after that and say, listen, like Christian is a threat in the end game. Let's take him out, you and me to the end. And that's what Gabby says to the jury is, listen, I took out Christian, who was the biggest threat in this game and like who everybody wanted to vote for in the end. I was his biggest alliance member. Therefore, like him and I were bouncing all these ideas back and forth. Give me credit for what him and I did together, and give me credit for being the one that to take him out as well. Right. That's your recipe to success for winning if you were Gabby.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You have a compliment in the chat room. Pokemon9 says, Tyler, I'm such a fan, and I agree with everything you say. Don't rub his ego, please. I have to put up with him every day. And what was that question? Who asked that, James? Who are the remaining goats?
Yeah. What do you think, Alison?
Yes. Mike, Angelina.
Is Mike a bigger goat than Angelina, in your opinion?
It depends on, okay, here's the thing. It depends on the goatness, the levels of goatness, because you have Angelina who's out there and her presence is known because she got rice once. And then you have, that's going to be our hashtag for tonight, got rice once. Because she got rice once, and Mike is sitting there kind of quietly slipping in and planting seeds. Like now, say I'm wrong. Isn't he the one that said throw Gabby's name out there in case Christian uses his idol? So he's kind of like a silent goat, and then you have the louder goat. So if you drag those two to the end with you, they're basically going to be arguing about, which one is the bigger goat. They really don't have an argument, in my opinion, as where someone like Christian does. Who is it? Kim said that Nick is a goat. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
I think that he's a threat to win.
Yeah, he's won stuff. He's God.
Here's the thing. Know. I'll try to like explain it the way I see it anyway. Nick is very charming. He's very good at making you feel good about being on his side. We saw Mike say that tonight. We saw him say like, "Oh, I'm so excited that the Rockstars are back together. I love playing this game with you." That's what he said. So at the very end of the game, like we've seen this time and time again, where people vote for the people that make them feel good over people that probably played a little bit better of a game than them. The jury does vote a little bit personally because they want to make sure that the person they're voting for at the end, they feel good about. People don't feel bad about Nick. People don't take like what they're doing as like a threat. We see Christian like not being able to do this as well. Christian like blindsides someone and everybody takes it personally and they have like a vendetta against them. We have not seen that with Nick yet. And I think that's like that Southern charm of sorts is really powerful in a game like Survivor.
Yeah, because it's not powerful in real life. You know what? I think that if, for me anyway, for me right now, if they voted Nick out, I don't think it would be as emotional as a decision as it would be to vote someone else out. It's like you said, I don't know. I just don't think it would be that big of a deal if they got Nick out to the tribe. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Stop talking about Pokemon in my chat time. I'm gonna kill it. It's cute. You guys are hilarious. You're so funny. No, you can talk. I don't care. I just thought it was funny.
Sorry, I'm like nerding out right now. So Pokemon says in the chat, he says, I think Nick is like Adam in Millennials versus Gen X, where he only wins against Mike and Angelina, similar to how Adam only wins to Hannah and Ken. I agree with that. But I think Angelina and Mike is a very likely final 3 situation with Nick. I really do.
Let's see. Weston Evans says, I was wondering what gave me the thought that Nick could win, and this sums it up excellently.
Thank you. The Southern Charm. It's a very real thing. Stop
stroking Tyler's ego. His head is big enough. I have to deal with it. Come on. Where's my compliments? Where's my compliments?
Kentucky 95 says Angelina and Mike will get 0 jury votes. I could see Angelina getting 1 or 2. I don't know who they come from, and it depends on her final speech. That's another thing. I think Nick would be able to deliver a really great final speech, especially compared to, can you imagine Angelina's final speech? She's just going to bury herself.
Bury herself in the rice she got once. Here's the thing. Who's in the jury right now? Alec, Carl, Dan, Elizabeth.
Basically all these Abercrombie models and Elizabeth.
The wrestler guy. So, John, the wrestler guy, I mean, who do you think they're going to vote for? I don't think they spent enough time. Elizabeth definitely didn't. John definitely didn't. Yeah. I mean, you got to think about, as far as the jury goes, where it stands now, how much time these people actually spent with the people that are, so as time goes on, the biggest influences, I think, on the jury will be the people that have been in the game the longest that come in the latest. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I totally agree with that. They're able to come in and say, no, this is like how the story actually went.
Yeah, it's kind of like with Big Brother. The first person in the jury is basically out of the game for like 2 months.
Yeah.
So you really don't know what's going on. Okay, I got a compliment. Kim said, Alison, you are a fucking rock star. I totally love you. I love you too, Kim. You're the original rock star.
Yes, and we're rooting for you on Sequester.
Yeah. Everybody, can we plug that real quick? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Go to sequesteraccess.com. Can Kim or Deborah verify that?
No, that's correct.
You can go to sequesteraccess.com every Sunday night, and they're doing a live action, hour-long Sequester. This is season 2. Kim Matina, who's in the chat, is in it. She's still there. She's kicking ass.
She is kicking ass.
This show was actually where all of us came together. Actually, I played 2 cycles of Sequester, Sequester 5, and Sequester All-Stars. No biggie. None at all. But anyway, you can watch that. Audrey Middleton actually created it. It's awesome. Go to the website and check it out. So
now, yes, it is a great season, and I've been seeing people on Reddit talking about how Kim is queen. Yes, slay queen. So she's got the Reddit crowd, which is really hard to please. So that should tell you something about how good you are.
Oh, thank you, Deb. It's also on YouTube. You can look it up on YouTube and the TV Party app. They have after shows where they interview people. So check that out as well.
So I have another question for you. We've been talking a lot about we've been talking a lot about Angelina, Mike, and Nick, and Christian. But do we see like any kind of path to victory for Alison or Cara, whatever?
I don't know what Cara and Alison's arguments would be to the jury of why they deserve $1 million. Alison's name has been thrown out, but she really hasn't done anything to prevent from going home. She hasn't rallied the troops. She hasn't said, look, I'm on your side. I'm a vote for you. Let's get these other people out. And Cara is just floating along, kind of like Mike is, but Mike is actually a better GOAT because of how he's playing the game.
Yeah. So we have a question in the chat. I want you to answer this first, Alison. Who is the greatest player to ever play Survivor in your opinion? Putting you on the spot here.
Rob Cesternino.
Okay.
I just have to plug Rob from Rob Has a Podcast because he's been really good to us and loaned us Brett Wagamont last week. So go over and subscribe to Rob Has a Podcast on YouTube. Now I don't know. Let me steal. No, okay. To me, somebody that I really, really, really love to watch is the Queen, Sandra. Now, would I say she's the greatest player of all time? No. To me, these are just great players in general because they got my attention. Tyson the Apostle got my attention. Johnny Fairplay got my attention. Sandra got my attention. Rupert got my attention. Peet. This is how I feel. If you don't win the $1 million on Survivor, if you can put your imprint on people like us, is where we are still talking about you 10, 12 years later, you've already won. Because there are people that have won Survivor. I don't even remember. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that.
Who is your favorite player of all time?
I was just thinking about that. I have two in mind. I think that the single greatest like one season performance, it has to be Kim Spradlin from Survivor One World. She just played such a dominant and strategic, social, physical, like just an all-around game. She had idols that she didn't even need to play because she was like so like locked the entire game.
What's her name again? Who was it?
Kim Spradlin.
Okay. Is she the one that was the cop? Like,
no, she is a wedding dress shop owner or something like that.
I'm getting her confused.
And then else. I also have always really liked Sarah from Survivor Australia, not this past season, but the season before that aired in 2017. Sarah Tilke is a really, really amazing Survivor player. She didn't win her season, so that's why I kind of favor Kim over Sarah, but I really liked what Sarah did too. But yeah.
I can co-sign that. Pokemon says in the chat, Alison is like Laurel, except she has no Dom and Wendell to latch onto.
I kind of agree with that.
Who do you think right now is the Dom and Wendell of this season?
I don't know that there is one, and I think that's why I'm enjoying this season. Yeah. I've always said on this show that I think Ghost Island is a dumpster fire of a season, and it's a shame that I started during this show with you guys in that terrible season. But yeah, I think that there is no Dom and Wendell. Like even like the hidden immunity idols, they're really across the board in terms of who's finding them, who's using them. It's not just like one or two people getting all the advantages, all the screen time, and it's not like an obvious winner at this point.
It's not obvious.
Speaking of idols,
yeah.
Do you think that they're gonna hide another idol now that Christian's played his? Because we don't have any idols in play. I think.
Of course. Yeah. If the guy that won a year ago, the guy that you hate that won, what's his? He was against the woman that you wanted to win, Christy or somebody. Who am I?
Chrissy.
Yeah, Chrissy. Who was the guy
Chrissy
that won?
Ben.
They waited till like the last minute to put an idol in for him. And I think sometimes I feel like they pick who they want to find the idol. Yes, everyone, it's Ben. I know. I don't know. Someone said Mike might be a bit of a Dom. Yeah, but he has no Wendell. Okay, hold on. Backpedal. I could, Nick and Mike could be a Dom and Wendell, but I could also see Mike. Okay, maybe Nick and Davie, or Davie and Mike. Christian and Davie. Okay, Christian and Davie could be like a Wendell and Dom, but not like a Wendell and Dom. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a little bit of a stretch.
That's my job.
And that's a good thing that it's a stretch because they were just so terrible. I hated them so much.
Deborah says Christian and Davie. Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, I'm curious to see like who's going to find the next idol, what's going to happen with it, and where the rest of the season shakes out. If you had to pick your winner at this point right now, Allison, who do you think it is?
Okay.
Did you just fart again?
I'm not farting, man. It's my phone. It's these notifications. God. Okay, so who do I think will win without the winner's edit? If I totally ignore the winner's edit, I'm gonna say Davie.
Okay.
I really, and if I had to call who's going to go home next week, I'm going to say it's Nick. Unless they plant the idol where his ass can find it, because that's coming.
Yeah. I am with Pokemon in the chat. I think that Nick is our winner.
Of course you're with him. You guys are like besties now.
We are. I haven't seen him in the chat before, and him and I are we're clicking on some Survivor opinions here. But I think that's everything for this week. We I guess we have an exciting week next week if we want to talk about who we're going to have on our show.
Well, next week we're going to have someone who loves to talk reality shows like Big Brother and Survivor. We're going to have Alex Kidwell on our show next week. Alex Kidwell is a former co-host on Rob Has a Podcast, and we highest recommendation from Brent Wagamont. So I'm so excited to say that Alex Kidwell will be on. I can't wait to hear.
Yeah, I think Alex is I've listened to him on a few podcasts, and I think that he's really great. He has a really great sense of game knowledge, and I'm excited to get a little like nerdy game body like strategy talk with him and see like what he's thinking about this amazing season. So I can't wait to see what he has to contribute.
So make sure and tune in next week as we go through Rob Cesternino's roster of people on our show. But that's what you do. You cross over. You help each other out. That's how it goes. We're not snobby here. We don't care. But yes, Alex will be on the show next week. And before we go, let's see here. Make sure and follow Deborah on TV Party app. Deb, put in the chat what people can follow, what's your handle on the TV Party app. You can now Tyler just published a book.
I did. I actually just got it.
Let's let him whore his book out.
We don't have to whore my book out, but so basically I made like a photo book for this color theory project that I did a few months ago. And I just got the book back in the mail like an hour or two before Survivor started, and I'm super happy with how the prints came out and everything. So it's called Perceptions because it's all about people's perceptions on their colors and what it makes them feel and stuff. So
and where can they go to get it? Or
it's on blurb.com. I haven't published it yet. In terms of like, I don't know if people can buy it yet, but by next week's show, I will definitely have a link to share for that.
Deborah put in there, you can find her on TV Party at Deborah G, DeborahG. Deborah said, show us Nick. Is he?
Yeah, I'm finding him.
Lord.
So Nick won Sequester Black Hat last year. So this is him and all of his beautiful tattooed glory. I have two more of him. He did really great. He had this like electric blue.
Yeah, and when that book becomes available, we will definitely tell you exactly where you can get it if people are interested. It looks like a perfect coffee table. I'm not in it.
That was exactly my thought. Is it being a coffee table book? And Allison, I have a special photo project in mind just for you.
I bet you do. And something tells me
it involves Waffle House, the Fly Swatter, just all of these wonderful, great representations of American class as we know it.
Allison does America. That coffee table shot by Tyler Lyons coming soon. Allison visits Waffle House. Allison visits IHOP. Allison's in the Cracker Barrel. Anywhere that sells anyway, the moment, whatever. Okay, so yeah, that brings our show. Yeah, Deborah's not in it either. We're working on it, Deb. We're working on it.
Both of you guys' time is coming, I promise.
Yeah. But yes, guys, thank you so much for watching. You can find Deborah on Twitter at My Next Life Debbie, and that's DEBI, because, you know, she has to be different. Tyler, how can people find you?
So you can find me on Twitter at TLyonz, TLYONZZ. That's where all my Survivor and Big Brother thoughts go. And you can find my photography stuff on Instagram at Scratch Studios NY.
Okay. Yes, Kim. Alison gazing lovingly through the Waffle House window as a paying patron pours here. Let me tell you something. Waffle House is the best waffles in the world. I have a cheat day, and it's Sunday, and Alison eats waffles. So if you guys ever love me, send me a Waffle House gift voucher, okay? Memphis Darling at gmail.com. No biggie.
All right.
Anyway, so I'm not getting paid by Waffle House. I'll tell you that much. They'll probably be pissed.
They're not a sponsor for us.
They're not a sponsor. Here's the thing. Follow me on Twitter at Summers, SOMMERS 1977. I'm on Instagram at the.memphis.darling. Please subscribe to my weekly meltdown on YouTube. Our little engine that could is growing fast, and I'm so excited. We got 135 subs after Brent Wagamont came on our show, and I just want to say it touches my heart, and I'm so excited to give you guys more. We will be covering more after Survivors. I think after the finale, the next night.
Gosh, we have so much planned. We have Celebrity Big Brother, and then we jump right into Big Brother Canada, and then of course after that we jump into Survivor and Big Brother US. So we have a busy schedule ahead of us. So
we're gonna tackle the MTV show X on the Beach. Kyle and yes, Jesus is right. Boy, I tell you what, this is gonna be a train. Oh, I can't wait. We're gonna start covering that. It comes on. I think Thursday, December 20th. So we'll jump into that. It'll be fun. It's mindless entertainment, people. It's just kind of like we're mindless entertainment. And then that's stretching it, as Tyler says.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway, so have a good night, everybody, and we will see you next week.
All right, with our special guest, Alex Kidwell. Thank you guys so much for watching. Follow him on Twitter. Just look up Alex Kidwell, ALEXKI. Is it KIDDWELL? I'm the worst person to ask to spell shit. But you can
find him. If you search him, you'll find him.
Yeah, you'll find him. And thank you, everyone. We love you. We'll see you the same time next week, 9/8 Central. We love you. If you're a big fan, shoot me an email, memphisdarling@gmail.com. Let me know what you're watching. We might have an opportunity for you. There might be a chance that we will bring a fan on the show with us in the future, and you want to be that fan. We want you to be that person. All right, guys. Love you. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.